views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Sunflower Media Mint. Some programs might include strong images or language that might be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's the shades of temporary state of mind or feeling. Curated playlist by real people. You're listening to Huemood by the new Hue.
Back to the pod. It's a Friday night. We're still here. The Huemood by the new you. Once again, happy Independence Day, Philippines. 12th of June. Where were we? Well, currently on GCQ here in the Philippines. I'm actually thinking about. Oh, I'm actually thinking about what's up next week already because GCQ na and most of the work people are going back to work. But let's think about it over the weekend na lang. Because for tonight we'll have someone. We're going to launch a playlist by this guy who knows trance and techno like nobody else. Welcome to the show, John Odin. Bro, Mr.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hi.
Hi, John.
Hey guys, what's up?
Your place looks very, very
Like,
cool.
It's
I like your background.
It's for a 12-year-old, to be honest. Jeez.
Well, we're seeing your toys. Should we call it toys in the background?
you know what they're called. You know what they're
Collectibles, so to say. Well, still on the show, Reg and Vino, of course. Vino are the resident DJ for Huemood. But for tonight, well, earlier this afternoon, around golden hour, 5 o'clock, we released this playlist, an OPM full playlist by City. And for tonight, as mentioned in our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, we're going to launch a playlist created by John Odin himself. So, before we all go get into that playlist and all, well, let me lower down this tone here. There we go. Kamusta? How's lockdown, John? Kamusta ka? JP pala,
very
sorry.
Challenging.
JP, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'd speak for everyone.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe a handful or maybe a lot of DJs are really having a hard time because some of them who are full-time make most of their money via gigs and endorsements via gigs, as opposed to monetizing it via streams. Yeah.
Yep.
And now that you have the industry on halt, the question is, what do the DJs do now?
Yeah.
Right? And the algorithm for monetizing streams on Facebook or Twitch or other platforms of social media isn't as easy as it seems. People assume that, oh yeah, I'll go on and stream and I'll get money.
It's not.
It's not. Like there's a minimum. There's a minimum, and even if you hit that minimum, you get like what, $5 tops, 100 pesos, nothing really to get you through the week even. So yeah, I'm one of those who got hit by that. I'm Vino. I'm sure you feel it too. Yeah, so we're trying to find ways to not just stay relevant, but to make a living out of it online.
Definitely. And
are there some DJs getting paid online, playing online?
I know I won't name names.
Are there?
There are some who are making, they're within our industry, who are making money not via the number of streams that they hit, because the numbers are still too low. And of course, you have to be given stars or something like that.
Exactly.
To translate it into money. But some of our friends in the industry are actually doing events for corporate companies that give them the money to do it. So they're being paid a premium to do the service regardless of the number of views and shares, etc. Yeah.
True. Well, that's a different thing right now, and to be honest, with how we're seeing, well, the online community itself, it's a different world out there, and it matters on the type of content that is out in the market. We have different type of audiences, and sad to say, it's too limited. I mean, we're competing with just 24 hours in a day of a person.
True.
Of course, deduct mo dyan the times that that person is offline. That is the only, that is the market right now that you hold. And to stay relevant, honestly, if we're going to talk about relevance on online and what, the new you started a month ago. Okay, right now we're about 20,000 followers in Instagram. So thank you people for supporting.
Wow.
But in all honesty, we don't know how much is really tuning in day in and out. It's not really, that's not the algorithm as what we were talking here earlier. Hindi ganun siya kadali. It's a matter of really getting your right market listening or watching to you. So for some, well, here no, Philippines, as I see it based on my observation, it's a matter of your content right now is to be viral. It has to be funny. It has to be funny. It has to be in or those
Sexy.
challenges sexy. Yeah, tama.
Yeah, let's not forget that.
Exactly. I mean, no offense to those. I mean, that is their hustles, and I have nothing against that. Pero reality is, if you want to get about what thousands of viewers concurrent or what, that is what you have to do. You have to be sexy.
Yeah.
You have to play that game and all because that's your following. Um,
That's true.
and no disrespect to anyone. At times you have to be controversial.
That is true.
And when we say
That's true.
controvert and when we say well, you know Vin what how Reg how we do things here.
Yeah.
We do it straightforward, right? That's what we do.
Yeah.
Um, if you
Ooh.
want if
Well, Carly, I think the reason why sometimes some people go for the controversial route is because of the saying that there is no such thing as bad
Bad
publicity.
Ooh.
publicity.
Yeah,
that's
that
true.
is true.
That
That's
is
also
very
true.
true. That
So
is
that's
very
also
true.
one of the tactics they would unfortunately go for. I mean, it's not done in. I mean, it's kind of done in to a certain degree in bad taste, but at the same time, they're getting the views, they're getting the attention, they're getting the mind share that
True.
they aim for.
But sorry to say, but uh that's the plan. That's the main plan. I'll be straightforward with that. I don't know if people will agree, but this is my opinion. But really, people, that is the plan. For you guys, it's a clickbait.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to
That's
talk
true.
you want to be talked about by the public. You create something that will attack their emotions. Like what I've been telling ever since. If you are competing in a market where in this market right now or the society itself proclaims that we are wiser now, we are more firm, we are more solid, then the next thing to do is attack via emotions. And when you attack
No,
via
that's how
emotions,
you
that
get them.
yeah, that is the only way you penetrate that. Well, enough of those. We maybe we can talk about it on the. For tonight, it's going to be JP. Okay, JP's playlist. We start talking about what tunnel vision.
Yeah.
JP, what is tunnel vision all about?
So for those who are unaware or less knowledgeable about trance and techno, as opposed to the other genres of music, trance is more on the melodic side of electronic dance music, and it plays around with a lot of uplifting elements. So very euphoric, yeah, uplifting, as opposed to techno, which is again people have the wrong perception of techno. Techno funnels more with bass driven. Some people would call it monotonous, but it's the good kind of monotonous, quote unquote. So it's more bass driven. It progresses slower. It takes its time, and these are all forms of electronic music. I won't say they're EDM, okay, because they're completely different, and
Mm-mm.
people get that wrong too sometimes.
That's good.
So this playlist I made as soon as you told me actually to make this playlist. I was talking to you, Vino, about this.
Yeah.
I spent a good whole afternoon, maybe 2 to 3 hours fixing this playlist, and I had to dig deep with stuff I've listened to since high school. Like there are tunes in there that um that dated back from 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
How long? Can I ask something?
Yeah, go
Go.
ahead.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been in the industry of doing trance and techno music?
Okay. I've been a DJ for 8 years.
Wow.
Um, in retrospect, that may seem long, but
Yeah.
yeah, right. But I'm still a child. Um, I've been listening to it since I was 13. Please don't ask me how old I am now.
No, no.
No,
But
no.
but what got you? I mean, people listen to it, but what got you to seriously start to learn?
Yeah, to get into it.
Yeah, and to get into it, to
Right.
making music and to mixing it and to DJing it.
Okay. I was in a band before. Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, he's a
Uh,
musician.
yeah. I was a bassist before,
Trivia.
and
Okay.
someone gave me Paul Van Dyke's one of his first albums, and I listened to it, and I remember not really appreciating it for what it was, and I'm like, what is this? Stooks, like, what? Come on, it's disco. And a friend of mine goes, just listen to it, and I tried listening to it, and the next day I told my friend, so what was that? He goes, oh, it's progressive trance. It's trance music. And at the time, trance music was really big, but I didn't listen to that. So after a month of buying more CDs and listening, I dropped my bass guitar and I moved to wanting to learn more about the genre. So I kept watching and studying for the longest time the artists, record labels, and the music. I wanted to be a DJ, but there was no means to learn it. I had no equipment. I had no friends that DJ'd, or the DJ school at the time I couldn't afford. It was just too expensive for a high school student. Even when I was a fourth year high school student at the time, even in college, I didn't have the money to afford it. And I eventually had a job. I was in corporate. I was the marketing head of some green energy company in BGC. I used to sell turbines for a living. What? And
Get to know
finally,
JP.
right? Yeah, this is good. Look,
Good story, good
comes
fun.
down to the thing. So I was making bank, good money, and here's where the DJing thing comes in. My ex told me to, you know what, Japes, now that you can afford it, you should try. I'm like, stop this nonsense. Like I have a job. Like this is good. I'm wearing a barong to work. Don't mess with the timeline. Like I'm good. And she keeps forcing me to do it, and I just went for it. And as soon as I learned DJing, I resigned the next day.
Everything was
Oh my
history.
god.
Yeah, that's the. And I went to my mom and I go, Ma, guess what? I quit my job. And then she goes,
Ang sabi.
what? And she's like, what do you mean? You got a better offer? I'm like, I'm now following your advice and chasing my dreams. She's like, what dream? I go, Ma, I'm gonna be a club DJ. And pinalayas ako ng bahay. This is real. You've asked my friend. This is real. I served tables. I became a waiter
Yeah.
somewhere. I'm a mama's boy. She took everything away. I had to work at Tiandi, which is now Chef Laudicos. That was a DJ school before. And the rest is history. I had to work my way back up. Like I had my friends who made me partner in some of the clubs.
Yeah.
And earn money back. But I still DJ up to today, and I don't regret it at all.
You love what
That's
you
great.
do, and well,
You
I
know,
love what I do.
can I just say, not a lot of people have the balls to
mm,
actually do that. And I find that really something like, for I mean I'm definitely, I'm pretty sure that wasn't an easy journey,
Mm.
but you're definitely happier now
Oh yeah.
overall, general. And not a lot of people have the balls to just stop their lives like that, especially when you have stability, when you've reached a point of stability with your job.
Oh yeah. What added to that was because I was very spoiled from my family and my mom.
Yeah.
Um, she even denied me that. When things got tough and I didn't have a job, mom would always be there, dad would always be there to, here, just
Help.
you're okay. You stay here with us. We pay for
mm,
everything. But as soon as I said the whole DJ nonsense, they they literally took everything away. Like, I no joke, I had to eat staff meal and wait tables, and
mm, mm.
that was that was different for me because I was so used to this norm,
Yeah.
and I was brought down to that level where I really had to fend for myself, and I'm like, shit, you must really want this.
Exactly.
That's why some people misconstrue the way I am with work in DJing. I approach things sometimes that a lot of people, they don't agree with me sometimes because they don't see the motive behind it.
Behind?
I could be an ass. I've heard it. I've heard it. People have said it behind my back. I've seen it, and it comes from somewhere. It's because I want it this bad,
Yeah.
and the people I have to work it need to want it this bad too.
Well, if you want to win, you have to be that way.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
who said that? I read this on Facebook. No one became number one by being too kind. Let's be honest here.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was that Jordan who said. Someone said that somewhere,
Jordan.
and yeah, like, I'm sorry, but being too nice. We should strive to be nice, to be kind.
Mm, mm.
Kind is the
Kind.
word.
Kind.
Kind is the word. But it's tough out there, and you gotta have teeth. I'm not saying step over people or anything like
Yes.
that, but you can't be you can't be a martyr all the time, is what I'm saying.
True.
Okay.
Definitely.
If you want it,
That's a really tough journey.
it
But,
is.
you know,
Diba?
we're all
And that
happy that
and that's where the fine line comes between, yeah, he's being a jerk, or you don't know the story or the context behind it,
Exactly. You don't know the story
but
behind the people.
right?
The people. Why they are
And
there.
and sometimes you're not obliged to reveal to them where this is all coming from.
Exactly.
I don't owe you an explanation for this.
True.
If you don't want to work with me, then door's right there. Diba?
Well, becoming true and straightforward at this point in time, you're labeled as a douchebag. So it
Sure.
comes with it. I guess that word, it
Yeah.
that word itself is what you call this, tagged in the society as a negative word.
Oh yeah.
But if you go into the history at the back of it, what happened, what took place, and what and that, there's definitely a story. It's always like what when we're at school, we're taught about cause and effect.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the cause, well, it's chicken and egg, man. You
Yeah,
have to
that is
understand both.
true.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
true.
That's very good. Well, it's a good one, and with that story that you share, JP. Well, we have John Odin now. We have
From
this.
from playlist to horrid story.
yeah.
We have
Right.
we have this guy right now. Um, that we listen to. The times that we are out there in the bars, in the clubs, you go out there, you dance to this guy that's actually in control of the music for you. You loved it, you know that. And for now, for this, since we're all in our homes, no clubs at this point, he continues to inspire, and well, influence and let you hear his mood with Tunnel Vision.
Yes, sir.
So, what's Tunnel Vision? I mean, why did you name it Tunnel Vision? I want to understand.
Um, During the times where my attention span is kind of
Short.
skewed, sometimes it's short.
Mm-mm.
So when I want to get into this, put a target on someone's back, I have to work mode.
Mm-mm.
I named it tunnel vision, obviously, because you need to tunnel.
Yeah.
Um, these are the songs that have served its purpose the most when I played in the clubs.
Mm-mm.
Um, these are the songs that people have most reacted to in my whole 8-year journey of DJing, and going back through each of these songs have reminded me of a club or a festival or a stream or a playlist I made.
That's good.
So each one here was not randomly chosen. Randomly chosen. Each one here was not randomly just thrown in there. I really had to pick each one of these songs
Mm-mm.
in that order. This playlist is not meant to be shuffled, but you
Ah,
can.
really? Okay.
But it's meant to be played in that order.
So
Okay.
that's
And
John Odin. That's how he works.
It's mood
Yeah.
music. It can work if you're angry. It can work if you're driven. It can work if you're sad or when you're happy.
Mm-mm.
I made sure of that. The Tunnel Vision playlist, as much as possible, tries to adjust to the current mindset or flow you have at the moment. And I think that plays well with the current situation we have now, which also ties hand in hand with mental health and emotional health.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And music is one of the biggest healers out there right now and most available to us. So
Agree.
that's about it for the playlist.
So
That's
from your playlist, I'm saying that when you listen to one track of trance and techno music, it's longer than the normal songs, right?
I tried to choose just the original edits, original mixes of the song, because extended mixes, which are used by DJs to mix, are around 8 to 9 minutes long.
yeah.
No way. No way. And introducing these two genres to the more casual listener takes a lot of challenge. I mean, it's challenging enough to introduce it in the club to a commercial crowd.
Mm-mm.
So I had to pick the shorter versions of these songs, which are, thank God, available on Spotify.
Yeah.
So these songs are easier to digest here. They're around 4 to 5 minutes each.
Ah,
Yeah,
This
easier.
is
Yeah.
close to about 4 hours. This playlist
Yeah,
right now.
there's
I'm
a
looking
lot
at
of
it.
songs in
Ooh.
there.
But you know what? I am curious, and I actually can't wait for it. Which, I mean, amongst the songs that you handpicked and you placed in order, in your playlist, which one is the one that you prefer the most, or which one was is
Ooh.
your favorite by far? The one that will never get old for you.
It's going to
Okay,
be tough.
As soon as this stream is over, since you asked, you need to click that song right away.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, you promise me you will click that song right away. It is Heart Call by Solid Stone. I'll send it to Vino and he can send it to you.
That's the first one,
Yeah.
man. That's the first one.
Yeah. That is by far out of the songs I have played the most in my gigs. I have listened to the most during these 3 years. That song
never gets
has
old.
yeah, I was happy I played that song. I was angry I played that song. And I was sad I'd play that song, and that song would adjust to either of the feelings I would have at the moment. It's such a complex song. It's so good that people who don't even listen to trance or progressive,
Mm-hmm.
actually that song becomes one of their favorites. I hope you guys get to hear it too. It's such a good song.
I can't wait.
Is it the first song?
It is. It is.
It is the first song.
It is the first song.
It's the first song. Yeah, that's my favorite.
So, people might think that trance and techno music is almost like EDM, diba? Tama ba,
Yeah.
JP?
Yeah, there's a label that people put on that. Yeah.
Mm.
People
But
when they say
But
EDM, you know this.
yeah, yeah,
Um, EDM was a term coined by. Okay, I know people are watching, and if you forward this, please correct me if I'm wrong, or if this gets to someone who knows more about this. But as far as I remember, EDM was a term coined by the United States to call this kind of music their genre, EDM.
Mm.
Okay, so that's why when there's house music or techno or trance or dubstep or bass,
Mm-mm.
they say it's all under EDM, which is wrong,
Okay.
I think, because EDM is its own thing. I guess what they're trying to say is these genres are forms of electronic dance music, which is different from EDM.
EDM.
Mm.
I don't know if that's right, but that's what some of my more underground friends would tell me, or some of the ones who have been around longer. EDM is its own genre that was coined by the US.
What I have experienced and what I've learned through my journey is new trance and techno actually mostly came from the European side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly
Actually, I
like
heard about that.
Russia, Spain, parang ganun eh.
As
Yung,
for techno, I wouldn't be sure where it's from because you have some history there with Chicago and Detroit that plays along in there.
yes.
That plays into a lot of I'm not sure, but I think somewhere there. But people would automatically assume that most of electronic music would come from Europe, right? But
Yeah,
there's a
yeah, I re-
documentary you could watch. There's a
in
documentary that you could
Netflix.
watch. Even on Netflix and on YouTube. It's hosted by Idris Elba,
Idris
and
Ooh.
it's
Elba.
Idris Elba,
Yeah.
and it's called The History of Clubbin with an N, and he
Yes.
explains the transition of disco. People, a lot of times, the younger crowd would, shit on disco and call it badui or whatever, but most of what we have now is born through disco.
Yeah.
Yes.
And disco is one of the best things ever made. So from disco and hip hop that played into it, it moved to acid house and techno and trance and whatever, jungle, drum and bass, UK garage and all these other genres. But yeah, yung history din yan. I should actually brush up on that more.
Well, it's a good thing that we're not just listening to music or waiting for this playlist to go public, but we're actually learning the history of it
History of
behind.
I'm
Oh.
still watching, learning. I ask my older friends to correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm.
Because the last thing I want is talking out of my ass when I'm outside,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
and then one of them
si
would be
Herb
like,
daw, kokonek ka ni Herb.
yeah, the Herb Cabral or Peps Lavigne or
Peps
Puff
Lavigne.
Parote. Yeah, like these guys are pioneers in house
Well,
and techno music here.
Herb is watching. Herb is, grabe raw.
Herb Cabral, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
grabe ang
Herb
tanda mo na daw,
Cabral,
JP.
Herb
Yeah,
Cabral
that's
is one of the pioneers of house and techno here. He's been around, pushing the scene,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
and he's one of my mentors and one of the people I look up to as an artist, as a DJ and a producer. And
Mm.
he's one of the people who actually correct. And he's very nice. He won't, he's very nice about it. And
Uh-huh.
um, there's a lot of things to be learned with the history of music. Some people think, the DJ, play mo lang yan. Sige, tugs,
Totoo.
tugs, tugs. But for a DJ, there is so much more with
Well-
just playing a song. Like, it matters so much to us when we play a song.
Yeah.
A song.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good. That
people,
sorry, Vin. Go ahead.
no. People kasi, see DJs as just pushing a
Push to
button.
play, push to play. Yeah.
Push to play.
Mhm.
That's
You
it.
can't blame
Mixing
them.
it. Push to play.
Can't blame them. I mean, that's
Yun
what
lang yung
they see.
nakikita kasi nila.
That's what
So,
they see. Yeah.
Yeah, but if
there's an art. There is an art on doing it.
once they understand it more, and then you start appreciating what these people, the artists, are actually doing. And another thing that I want to add here is, well, like what JP has shared it to everyone. Correcting is not really bad. correcting someone is actually good. But what makes it bad sometimes is how you do it. Kumbaga, minsan kasi, tama naman nasa tama ka. Pero on how you correct the person, that could be the way wherein nagmumukha siyang mali. Kasi nag-iiba yung dating. So, it's good that we have people discussing things. It's actually when how we call it. It's more of constructive criticisms.
Criticism.
Yes, exactly. So, and if you know how to adapt to it, to accept it, it's way it's going to be for your own good. That's for
That's
sure.
true.
Anyway, Reg, anything on your end?
Well, it is 8:41 p.m., right? So, Harls, we have we have only a few hours left till our giveaway is ending.
Okay.
Before I
Ooh.
forget, kasi last time, kanina, muntikan ko na makalimutan eh. But yeah, actually,
Sana sa akin mapunta yun.
I don't think
Yes.
I don't think you're allowed to join if you're part of the program.
Not allowed.
I mean, so I'm just gonna remind the people watching right now. So if you guys haven't heard, we are actually giving away. We are picking two lucky winners to give away an iPhone 11 Pro Max or 50,000 pesos in cash. So, bongga, right? You can either get the iPhone 11 or 50,000 pesos cash.
Oof.
Mas matindi
Yeah,
pa sa
so-
ayuda to eh.
Till 10 p.m. to enter and to join the giveaway. So you need to follow the giveaway account and the giveaway account's second account. You need to follow all the people or all the accounts that those two accounts are following. And you need to go to our Instagram page at the new Hugh PH. Like the photo of the giveaway, and the instructions are all there if you want more detailed instructions. The giveaway closes tonight at 10 p.m. and tomorrow, June 13th at 5 p.m. The winners will be announced, and they'll do a live drawing of the winners on YouTube. So tune in for that. Stay tuned for that.
A Pro Max, huh? Not just
Pro
like
Max.
not like an
Yeah.
11.
No.
That's
iPhone
just like
11
a Pro Max.
Pro Max. What?
So I'm checking on Instagram right now. Well, for those tuning in, for those who have seen the promo, well, you still have an hour and 18 minutes to go to join. And well, Vin, Reg, we've been talking about this earlier with CT. Yeah, we reached 20K tonight.
I told you we'll get
What?
to 20K tonight.
We reached
Yeah, we
20,000 followers.
We have 20,000 followers on Instagram. So
Instagram.
thank you to everyone who has supported us.
Thank you so much for
And the giveaway with that.
for a month that the new has been doing this, and that 20K strong supporters, followers. You don't know how much we actually appreciate it, and continue to do this conversation. It started out just a plain conversation among people, and then share it outside, and then right now, well, we are trying to create your own moods as well with Huemood. Okay, Vino, ending on your end?
I'm just gonna say hi. We're just gonna say hi to
Sure.
some of our friends, DJ friends, like Hannah, Nava, Muki,
Ayel is online too.
Ayel,
Yeah,
Arden,
Ayel.
Eunice, Mikhail, Misbehave, of course,
Christ, misbehave.
of course, the
Oh.
Mr. Herb Cabral.
Herb Cabral is yeah.
Anything on your end, JP? You wanna?
No, that's it. The playlist should just be taken at face value. Nothing. It's good for driving when you're alone. That's it.
Just wanted to add.
Sure, go.
For the people who doesn't listen to trance and techno, I think JP's playlist would give you an idea, not just an idea, a feeling of it. Kasi dati ako, I don't listen to trance and techno.
Mm-mm.
Pero when I started hanging out with JP, that's when I started loving it. Actually loving the genre. So it's not like it's not noisy music anymore for me.
Anymore, right?
Anymore. it's a melody. It's a melody of different types of bass, different depending on your mood actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's just try to listen. Try to. I'm sure you'll appreciate it.
I'm sure
This
there's
guy-
one in there. I'm sure there's one in there.
This guy, when he works, he works all lahat yan may purpose. Kung ba't yun yung pinili, kung bakit ito magkakasunod. Ganyan magtrabaho si JP. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I need meds for that. Yeah.
Well, hearing your story tonight, JP, you quitting your job and doing what you
Yeah.
love to do, it's passion, man. And
But wait, I'll just put a disclaimer on that. Like, I'm not inspiring you.
exactly,
Quit your
true,
job
true.
and, like, no, please, no. Just, oh God, I've heard people like
Oh,
come
God.
from school, like, oh, I want to be this. Like, okay, guys, be realistic
True,
first.
exactly.
Okay, like, calculate the risks before you do it. Like, I got lucky.
You don't actually gamble. It's more of calculated risk always. It should be that way.
Yeah, I think that's a problem sometimes too.
Sure.
I calculate everything.
Well,
Yeah, I think
that's not gonna fit for everyone, JP. So, well,
Yeah.
I guess the word we have to live there is if you want to do something, just do it. But there's always a but.
think about the consequences.
Exactly.
Like, really think about them, because you're gonna have to live with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. So, well, I'm going to post this first. So, Tunnel Vision will be available on Spotify after this show, this podcast.
I'm waiting. I'm on Spotify right now. I'm waiting.
Well, you have to wait for a few. Well,
I need to hear the thoughts of
you have to wait a
Reg
few
with
more.
this song.
You just
I can't
once
figure it.
once it's available, you have to follow the playlist as well. Add it to your favorites, whatever and all. It's going to be a weekend, so we launched 2 playlists today. If you're more into the OPM side, you go with City. If you want to understand more on trance and techno, Tunnel Vision is here for you by John Odin. For this week, it's actually a long week for us. We had about 5 episodes for this week for both the new you and the Huemood. It's cool. It's fun. It's actually adding up. What they call this? More insights, hearing stories, hearing people, hearing real people about what they do, why they are there, and so on the likes. As always, for this week, no, for next week, what are we having for next week? We'll have Dara for the Huemood. That's on Friday. And
That's amazing.
what do you call this? For the new you, well, what we have right now is we're talking about the new runway. So we will be talking about how the fashion shows is going to change. So watch out for the guests on that one. So we're trying to mix people, designers, makeup artists, runway models,
model.
exactly, to be in one episode. And then what else do we have in store for the next 2 weeks? Well, we'll have the new coffee shop. Okay, so we will be discussing
June 25th.
June 25th. We'll be having baristas on the show, talking about how brewing your own coffee at home is going to change the coffee shop industry. And we're doing the new wedding as well. Since it's June, it's still June. It's the wedding month. We want to somehow talk about how the wedding is going to change. So we'll have organizers, caterers,
Online wedding.
yeah, something like that.
Online wedding.
So
Because the first person that came to mind was my best friend,
really,
her wedding got
Her
canceled.
wedding.
oh, so
I was supposed to cry at her wedding. Damn it! I was supposed to give her away during her wedding.
Yeah.
She was a guest on this show.
who?
Damn it! Patty, I was supposed to give.
Oh,
her away.
Patty.
Oh.
Yeah, Patty and Mark. Hi, you two.
had
Hi,
a
lovebirds. The Thompsons.
We had a-
Yeah.
We had a bet
Yeah.
that I was gonna cry.
Anyway,
Not cry.
we... Di natin hawak to, bro. It is what it is.
Proud. I will.
So we're going to launch a playlist after this. For those who tuned in, thank you so much for staying with us. We hope you learned something with what John shared to us this evening. Tunnel Vision is going to be up in Spotify in a few minutes. Okay, same as with CT's OPM playlist. Once again, with Reg, with Vino. Well, this show is all about being straightforward, like what we discussed earlier in the part of the show. Straightforward, still in black and white, and always the new you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank